It's on!
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Disney's Park Talk. What's wrong?
That was like, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have breaking news.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of Disney Parks Talk Live, the weekly show in which three men, and usually one woman, but not today, dissect the week in Disney and otherwise theme park news. My name is Doobie Mosley, co-founder of A Laughing Place, wearing my Thank You Roosevelts for another contribution to my wardrobe. This is my favorite. It's a
Little
nice,
Mickey's.
yeah, everyday shirt. It doesn't stand out. Looks particularly good on me, in my opinion, if I do say so myself. Every time I pass myself in the mirror, I go, So, anyway, that's me, Doobie, over there. Feeling better, I hope. How you doing, Mike?
I'm good. My voice is still not entirely there, but I am still on Dayquil. I slept almost the entire weekend. I'm on the road to recovery. Just had a bad cold, not COVID. I tested negative a bunch, and yeah, I'm good. I'm good to go.
A bunch? How much did you test?
Twice.
Just a cold,
Every
man.
5 minutes.
I know. Anyway, we're not getting into a COVID discussion here as much as I kind of want to, but no, we won't. And then down there, the vice president of Sea Life on his chest is Jeremiah Good. How you doing, Jerem?
What's up, Doobie? So I have a question for you before we start everything, Doobie. Do you walk by the mirror and look at yourself and go, who is that still?
Occasionally, not a lot, but occasionally.
Every time I see you on screen, especially it's a full body picture, I'm like, that's not Doobie. You look
Thank you,
amazing.
Jeremiah. Jeremiah is referring to the fact that I have lost 140 pounds. 2 days. We are 2 days away from my 1 year surgical anniversary, June 21st, 2022. So,
Congratulations, sir.
thank you very much. But we're not here to talk weight loss and laparoscopic surgery. We are here to talk Disney theme parks. So let's start with Universal Studios. Jeremiah, what did you do today?
Well, just a few days ago, I'm trying to think of exactly what day it was. I think it was Friday, Friday or Saturday. Universal did something that usually doesn't happen that often. They actually announced that the Minions Cafe and this section of Minions Land at Universal Studios Florida was going to soft open. Usually it's, hey, something soft open. There was a news release, everything.
A question.
Yes, sir.
When you announce it's soft opening, is it truly a soft open?
It's like an out of town, in town opening. I don't know.
Okay. So you were there today?
Yes, headed over there today to experience it. I am not a huge Minions fan. That's one of those Universal, and I work for Universal. I loved Universal. Universal loves to take characters and run them into the ground, even though it's Illuminations, which is a different, studio under Universal. Minions has been done, and then they just closed the Shrek 4D just about a year ago and they're putting it in the Villains Con, which is in the Despicable Me Minions universe. And then they took the Universal Monsters Cafe and turned it into Minion Land, which is the Minion Cafe, the Freeze Pops, the Bake My Day, and the Illumination Theater. So I kind of walked in going, I don't know how I feel about this. Went into the Minion Cafe. Really great design. As much as I love the Universal Monsters, this opened up. It's so bright and yellow, really yellow. Had some really good food in there. I had the meatball pizza type thing. I can't think of the name of it. I believe it's Mel's Meatball Mountain. Really, really good, especially for theme park food. Also had essentially the Arby's sandwich, which I know Mac and I had talked about before it opened, of the look of this sandwich and how massive it is. It's actually a little bit smaller than we thought, but it does come with uh, a side, and we decided to upgrade and get the Minion tots, which were probably the best park tots that I've had in a long time. But yeah, this is the design as you're walking in. They took the Monsters Cafe, which, if you're familiar with it, you'll walk into this place and not understand where anything is or where it was. That's the sandwich. The little uh, pokey thing in there actually has cheese in it, so you can put more cheese. The tots, of course, look like minions. It
I
was
thought they were Pac-Man ghosts.
They
kind
totally
of
look like that.
yeah.
Totally.
You can kind of see the arms sticking out the side, and they have little feet. But yeah, it was really, the food was excellent. Also had the pet rock. There's my, and that is how it's plated. I was so impressed with that glow. Like when they set it down, I went, oh, look at that! It's like spin art. It's essentially a pizza crust folded onto itself with meatballs inside the crust, meatballs on top, some cheese, and then more sauce on there.
And all over there.
Yes, all over there, which was nice because the corners of the pizza don't have meatball or cheese in there, so you can kind of run it around to clean up the mess.
Oh, nice. And then you just pick it up and lick it.
Yes.
Yes.
We're doing that at Horror Nights this year, Doobie. You're picking it up. So this is an extended room that they added on, as far as I could figure. And it's all Minions, of course. So this is more of the artwork room and the Minions being cute. And then they have the center area, which is the first photos we showed. That's the entrance. And then they have the Minions break room, which should be one of the next pictures. That's the entrance. The pipes that run all around just have little notes in it, teacups, some random silly things. You know, it's not so generic that you're just like, oh, this is nothing, but it's also not completely over the top that you're just like, I don't like Minions enough to sit in here.
When I see this, my first thought is BTJK, better than Jazz Kitchen.
That is now the new standard.
If you are not as good as that, then you don't deserve to exist.
But the break room area is really fun. They have like a vending machine in there with gags from the Minion stuff. They have bananas in there, a fart gun, shoes, all sorts of
hilarious. A fart gun, hilarious. That's what I want when I'm eating.
Well, you can't get it, sadly. The freeze pops, which is essentially like popsicles. I didn't get a chance to try that. The line for that was very long. And as much as I would have enjoyed it, it was hot. We were well over 101 in the feels like, and there wasn't much. That's the freeze pops right there. And
wait, so were you were you 112, 114?
I was probably about 118, yeah.
Okay. But so well over 101 is just an interesting, never mind.
Yeah. So that was that small area. Then the Bake My Day, which is their souvenir shop and bakery, had some. I looked at this and I went, Doobie's going to love this. And I wasn't going to be too fond of it, then walked in there. You know, very cute, some very great baked items that you can pick up. They have macaroons, fudge. Then they have all the little merchandise with the Minions and the unicorn, and yeah.
Cool. And what else is over there? Oh, wait, see some fun food. Fun food. Okay.
Yeah, some of the cupcakes. And then next to that is the Illumination Theater, which isn't a theater. It's just a meet and greet area where they have some of the Minions and then some of the stars from Sing, which if you could bring up our Instagram, we have a video of the stars from Sing, which is a movie I have not seen. So I could not tell you other than Johnny the Gorilla which pig it is, which is a weird thing to say. But so it's
Johnny the Gorilla is the name of a pig?
Yes.
All right.
All creatures great and small. Now appearing in the Illumination Theater, the stars of Sing.
I don't know.
If we got that off in time for copyright, I doubt it.
Yeah, so they come out dancing. The Minions come out. I will have another video up later on today of the Minions going off stage where they're rocking out one of their songs, and they alternate, and they have interactive poster. Well, they have poster video screens that say now appearing or coming soon. So if it's the Minions, it says now appearing Minions. If it's the Stars of Sing, it's now appearing. Yeah, and then this is the Illumination Theater, which I really hope that at some point we do get Gru out there and some of the animals from Secret Life of Pets.
So for a soft opening, it seems quite complete.
Yes. The only thing that is not complete for the entire new Minions, well, there's actually two things. One of the small carts that they, or not carts, one of the snack stands that they had in the grass area across from Jimmy Fallon is being redone to theme with this, and we're guessing that's where they're going to put the Coke Freestyle machines that they removed from the entrance. Oh, and there's also the banana popcorn stand that we didn't get a chance to try because their popcorn looked very much like the popcorn from the 80s at movies that is made in batches and just dumped down. So they stick the thing in there and they're like, here you go. And like, I want to try it fresh. I don't want to try something that's been sitting there all day.
So
but
we now know Jeremiah is a popcorn snob. Go on.
Jeremiah doesn't eat popcorn. So if he's going to buy a popcorn, especially a banana popcorn, it better be fresh. So there's that food stand. And then, of course, VillainCon, the ride, or the attraction, which we still have no idea when it's opening, even though we just got a soft opening of everything. The store for VillainCon is complete and done. We covered that a little while ago. So the only thing that's not done for the new area for the new attraction is the new attraction.
Do we have an opening date?
Not at all. They just said summer 2023.
Okay, so this whole thing is in soft opening, presumably until that officially opens. Okay, and Jeremiah will be covering that.
We haven't gotten any type of media information for it or anything yet. So once we do, we will post when it's going to be there and hopefully be there opening day and having lots of fun. I will be wearing my Roosevelt's Minion tuxedo. So that will be exciting.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. Is it bright yellow?
No, it is not the banana. It is more the forest. If you go and look at the Minions line that came out, it is the foresty one. I was leaning towards the banana, but the forest one's a little bit more subtle, even though I do love being a giant banana.
And let's let Kyle have something to say here. Our movie expert. People at the movie theater would always ask for fresh popcorn on the weekends, as though we weren't constantly popping it the entire darn day. Kyle is so easy to make bitter.
I'm not saying that they weren't popping it, but instead of the small popcorn that they had at the theaters that I'm sure Kyle did, they have one that, Doobie, you could sit in this giant. They had 3 of those full of popcorn. I'm like, no, I'll wait.
Popcorn. I so wish I had the video here right now of Mike Celestino enjoying his popcorn.
Oh yeah.
Do you chuckle, roll your eyes, or complete apathy whenever that pops up on Disney Trivia Live?
Oh, we get a good chuckle out of it.
Okay, good. That relieves me a little bit. All right, let's get to Mike Celestino. We did not plan on starting with Minion Land, so that is taken over our top story. We're going to jump to Mike now and talk about some Disneyland stuff. I think last week we actually talked quite a bit about Jazz Kitchen based on some media pictures, but you actually got to go there, now, Mike Celestino. So I feel like we've been a little harsh on it based on media pictures without actually having seen it ourselves. So let's talk to someone who's seen it firsthand. How ugly is it?
First of all, I want to say this was probably my first time ever stepping foot into this restaurant. Um, so I feel bad. I mean, I've seen it from the outside. You know, I had a general idea of the New Orleans theme of the whole thing. But yeah, you can tell it's definitely gotten a minimalist overhaul. So I get why people are not thrilled about it.
Okay. So it does not look appreciably better in person than it does in photographs.
It's not really my thing. It's not really my style. I am not a fan
That
of
looks nice.
minimalism. Yeah, there are some nice touches. I think some of the art is interesting, but in general, especially when it comes to Disney parks, I like when things are just overdone. I like when things are like when there's not an inch of spare room on the walls.
I don't know if
So
Gideon's watching. Gideon, is this an example of Pepper's Ghost? Because I have a hard time understanding Pepper's Ghost.
Do they still have the space for the piano in there?
I
Mike?
did not notice a piano. Where would that have been?
If you go back one photo, it's pretty much where that mural, the green leafy mural was, is where they used to have a small stage where the
Okay.
piano would play, but I don't know.
I
That looks like where it was. I don't know for certain.
I don't think I saw a piano. But yeah, I definitely had not been in this room before.
So, and this is the main jazz kitchen, right? This isn't the adjunct counter service.
Right.
Correct?
Yeah, this is if you step into the courtyard and turn right, this is that big room.
So the jazz kitchen is now open. I do like the stairs. I mean, I don't think they ruined that. That looks good to me.
Nope, they ruined it. I wish I could find one of my old pictures of the stairs that really look like you're in a New Orleans courtyard and just.
Yeah.
This is
The jazz
upstairs.
kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks. I mean, I like the fact that it's upstairs, but it just looks so plain.
Do you want to address David Sutton's question?
Yeah, I do. I do want to let Jeremiah address that. I just wanted to make sure we cover all of this here. Another interior picture here. This kind of reminds me of. No, it doesn't remind me of anything. Okay. It looks nice.
So, David, we were talking about Universal Studios Florida. They do have a Despicable Me ride. It started here. There's one in Universal Studios Hollywood that took over the old T2 3D. The new attraction is in the former Shrek 4D theater. We don't know much about it other than it is based around Villains Con, and we've heard that there's kind of a laser tag-like feel, but you're on a moving walkway. And that is mostly just people that have said things. Yeah, I don't understand it at all myself, Mike, until I actually get to do it.
Picture it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just picture like you're on a moving walkway that does the turns like your luggage at the airport. And you're just sitting there with a laser gun, just shooting at things popping up. But I haven't heard any reviews firsthand about it. I know people have said that it's not overly thrilling, but you know, it's a kids attraction and it's based off of this Despicable Me, The Rise of Gru. I don't remember which movie it is, but it, you know, no matter what, it's something new to have. You know, anything's better than Shrek 4D, I gotta say.
Concur. The best thing to come out of Shrek 4D is the marriage coming up this fall. Other than that, nothing good came out of that place. Isn't that where Tony and Morgan met?
Oh, I don't know.
Tony Betty, are you aware of him? He works for Laughing
Yeah,
Place.
I don't know if that's where they met. I meant.
Okay. Back to Downtown Disney a bit. They're actually doing a transformation in Disneyland Paris. They're in the process of updating their Disney Village, which is the equivalent of Downtown Disney, right, Jeremiah?
Yes.
And so we have some concept art we put up there, and I mean, it looks awful familiar to me. Rosalie Arquette.
So this, I don't remember what this portion is, and they are doing very much like they are at Downtown Disney at Disneyland, where they're taking the pre-existing structure and building a new facade around it. This one looks dull. I know that I don't know if we have the other art that looks more. Yeah, this looks entertaining. They are definitely going for a different style. To me, it kind of looks like a Disney store at the mall used to. But judging by this concept art, what we're looking at is on the far left of the screen is the Annette's restaurant, which is based off of the 50s Annette Funicello. And then you're looking down, and this is more of what they have now at Disney Village is very still from 1992. And it's Disney shop split into bigger stores, kind of like how Downtown Disney and Disney Springs just started transforming all the shops that nobody was renting into Disney outlets. But yeah, I will say from the experience, and Mike, I think you could probably agree, anything is better than the 1992 shopping mall look of Disney Village. Like this almost looks more like Disney Springs, where it's wide open, the trees will be nice, but
It did feel very dated when I was there. Yeah.
Let's see. Sticking with Disneyland, they did announce that there's going to be a Rogers the musical Gold member event for D23 members. Are you going to go to that, Jeremiah?
I am not. It actually sold out in seconds. And that is, I believe, coming up on the 29th of this month.
Show officially opens on the 30th, which I presume,
Yes.
Mike, you will be there. You're pretty excited, getting hyped up, Mike?
I am excited. Yeah, I'm curious to see what they did to expand the show from what we saw at D23 Expo.
Do you think that's going to be huge? Like, we were wondering if they'd have a virtual queue for that. Do you think that's going to be that huge?
I would think it would be popular.
Yeah. I know that there are more than enough people I know on this coast that want to go out to see it, because who knows? And I've heard the only definition of the time frame that I've heard is it is going to be running for a very limited amount of time. So
That's what you want to do with a popular show.
Yeah. Well, hey, let's talk about Broadway, shall we?
Never mind. All right. Was it Monday? What day was it that you went to the After Dark event, Mike?
Last Tuesday.
Okay.
Last week, I went to Disneyland After Dark Pride Night. And this is of the series Disneyland After Dark, which is an after-hours ticketed event. This was the first of its kind. But though they had two last week on Tuesday and Thursday. And it's, a lot of unique characters and unique character outfits that everybody was excited about. A lot of photo ops, a lot of unique food offerings, and some entertainment. You can go and watch the fireworks show. It's just called the Welcome Fireworks. I got video of that. That's on the YouTube channel. And the character cavalcade, Welcome Pride Cavalcade, that was on the YouTube channel as well. There's different dance clubs. But mostly it's about, the atmosphere, the vibe. It was a very positive atmosphere, I would say. It was nice seeing everybody so happy around the park. And they had a lot of, the rainbow projection effects down Main Street, on the Matterhorn, on It's a Small World. There's the this is the character cavalcade. I got two different angles of that. You can watch the video there on our YouTube channel. And then other than that, yeah, it's mostly like the other Disneyland After Dark events. I would say this one, though, the general vibe, the morale of the guests seemed a little higher than usual. I think because they've really learned how to improve guest flow at these type of things. Not a tremendous amount of waiting in line, mostly enjoying the characters, the photo ops, and the entertainment and such. There's Goofy in his unique outfit for Pride Night, and all the other Mickey and Friends characters were there. And then they had some very unique characters, like I know people were excited to see the Queen of Hearts as a face character wandering around Fantasyland. We had Wandering Oaken in Fantasy Fair, and there's the Muses from Hercules by It's a Small World. They were getting a lot of attention as well. So yeah, there were some really unique, rare characters in addition to everything else going on. But yeah, I thought this is Fastos from what's it called? Jeremiah, help me out.
Eternals.
Eternal.
Yeah, I keep saying elemental every time I think about Eternals too.
It's like an anagram. But yeah, had a good time, and I think it seemed like everybody else. Yeah, there's like a DJ on the Rivers of America there. So
and those are done for this year, right?
I think there was only 2 of them, yeah, and they both sold out. It was Monday and Thursday last week.
I'm guessing from the response next year, they may do 4 and just spread it across the entire month of June, which would be fun.
Yep, I think it got a very positive response from what I experienced.
Really quick answer to David's question. Buffalo Bill, the dinner theater, closed in, I think it was early 2019, possibly late 2018. The space has been turned into, well, the main entrance was turned into I believe it was the last time I saw it, a Mexican restaurant. I don't know about the arena inside. And the Queen of Hearts, she was based off the animated Queen of Hearts, not the live action Tim Burton, which she debuted as a face character out here 5 or 6 years ago at our Villains Dance Party event. That was an amazing event, which sadly they only did a few times.
Maya, you are a wealth of information.
Again, the things that are in my head. I was doing that today. Like I don't remember what I was thinking of, but it was one of those like, how is this in my head? How is this just? I can snap my fingers and this type of info. I mean, it's like Mike with Star Wars, where I could do this with just random Disney things. And
there was something I meant to ask you, Jeremiah. How was work last night? All right, so I was sorry. Something you posted on Facebook. I'm sorry. I was traveling last Thursday, and all of a sudden I hear all this talk about Jollywood. What the heck is Jollywood?
Jollywood is one of the worst names in a long time.
Jollywood. It reminds me of Time Bandits. Jollywood. Jollywood.
Disney Jollywood Studios. Jollywood.
Hey, Gideon finally got his name changed.
Right. So Jollywood Nights was something that kind of popped out of nowhere, and this was the same day. So we heard, and I can't think of what day that was, the day before, I was invited to a media event. This was last Friday night. We heard the day before that Universal was going to be announcing something at noon. No, it must have been Thursday because it was Friday night. I apologize. Universal was announcing something at noon. We had a media event for that night. About 9:45, all of a sudden this Disney Jollywood Nights info pops up. Kind of taking away the steam of Disney announcing, or of Universal announcing The Last of Us as one of their first houses. And I actually asked some of the PR people, I'm like, was this pre-planned, or was this like, hey, we're just going to do this? They had this announcement planned before they knew anything about Universal. So anyway,
I believe it.
Jollywood Nights is back to the talk about after hours events. Magic Kingdom has been doing Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party for decades now. An amazing party. We've all done them. I love doing it. And there's always been talk of expanding holiday parties into other parks. Mostly we heard about Halloween going to the studios, but instead they made a hard left and went with Christmas. So Jollywood Nights is going to be aimed more towards an older crowd, not older like you have to be 20, you have to be 30s. It is teenage up. One of the things that I think everybody first took note of is over at the Hollywood Bowl Amphitheater, Kermit and Ms. Piggy are hosting live and not giant walk around Kermit and Miss Piggy. These will be, as I was told, as you see Kermit and Miss Piggy on TV. They'll be hosting what was described to me as almost a Rockettes type Christmas show. Tiana will be there. There's going to be major dancing. And Doobie, this could be the number one reason why you want to come out. Belle will be singing her Christmas song from Belle's Enchanted Christmas movie.
Wow.
So that I think was what caught everybody's attention. The initial press release, we were told about that. We were told about a spirited sing-along taking place in the Hyperion Theater, which later we learned will be two, as they described them, uber fans of Nightmare Before Christmas, and you'll be singing along to different scenes from Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't remember what the name of the sing-along was. It was very long, and every time I tried to ask somebody, nobody was sure what it was. Those will be the main things. There will be some other characters out. The two that they talked about, Max and Phineas and Ferb, who we've not seen out in a while, will be around Echo Lake with their own backdrops. Frozone will have a special area back in Pixar Palace, or Pixar Plaza, and he's going to actually make it snow, which will be fun. Not real snow, sadly. Snow. The one thing that caught my attention that I'm very interested in is the Brown Derby is becoming almost like a piano lounge. And I love a good piano bar, as we just talked about it. Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen used to have a piano bar. So this will be something that we'll walk into the Brown Derby. There'll be a piano player. No further information, but I'm hoping it's, somebody that is themed in there singing, which I would have loved to have seen Tiana do something like that, but her over in the Hollywood Bowl Amphitheater will be fun.
Jollywood Nights is going to have 10 of them this year. If it's successful, don't be surprised if there's more next year. Yeah. Starting November 11th, the last one being December 20th. Prices go between $159 to $179, depending on the date. DVC members and annual pass holders can save $10. Tickets go on sale July 6th. And Disney World Resort guests can start buying tickets June 29th. Yeah, that's exciting. I mean, Very Merry Christmas has been around for so long.
Yep.
And finally doing another. Of course, the downside is, do you know if any of these dates correspond to Very Merry, or do they make sure never to do the same one?
I have not looked at that. That is actually a good question. I would probably guess that they won't, but if they do, that is the prime time to be in Epcot at night.
So I'm looking right now. It does not look like there's any crossover on the dates. There's a lot of consecutive. So, yeah, no same dates.
It would be a great time to come out. I mean, it is just like with the after hours at Disneyland and Disney California Adventure. Ticket prices are getting up there for these events. At least this has some, just like the Pride Night, some unique opportunities that don't happen. And one of the other things is Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam, the fireworks show will only be happening during these events.
Time out. So this thing that used to just come with the day's admission now is only happening if you buy this after hours ticket?
Correct.
That's a very Chapek thing to do. I thought we left that behind.
Disneyland used to do that with the Halloween stuff and their Christmas stuff. So
I am not liking what's happening lately in terms of nickel and diming. This is not what we were promised back in November.
Well, this event, I think this event will be worth the price of admission. There's a lot of offering. Hopefully it is a limited amount of tickets as opposed to Disneyland After Hours, which those numbers looked very much like a normal day in the park.
So we also learned that Mickey's Very Merry, of course, will be returning this year. If I am a good counter, there will be 25 dates between November 9th and December 22nd. Pretty much the same price range, $159 to $199. So, choose which park you want to do if you want to try something new this year. pretty exciting. All the other stuff we're used to, the Merry Menagerie, the Gingerbread House over at the Grand Floridian, Candlelight Processional, all coming back. We're halfway to Christmas, guys. How excited are we?
Not at all. I'm excited that we're like 3 months away from Halloween, but actually just 2 months. Like September 7th, I think, is the start of Halloween out here.
So hard to believe.
Yeah.
Wow. Sticking with Christmas, or the holidays at least, the various holidays, just a little longer, the Disney Cruise Line announced that this year at Christmas time they would have some new things. They're going to have a new tree lighting ceremony with a countdown and a guest of honor, and a new deck party, Mickey and Minnie's Holiday Party. That's kind of exciting. I think they actually gave us some artwork for the holiday party. Excuse my scroll here. There you go. And then they also gave the information if you want to book next year's holiday stuff. If you want to do Halloween, it starts mid-September through October on the Wish and the Fantasy and the Magic. And Merry Time is mid-November through December on the Wish and Fantasy and the Magic out of Galveston. Halloween is the Magic out of Fort Lauderdale. And Christmas will be the Magic out of Galveston. If you are on the Dream or the Wonder, you don't get to celebrate holidays. Sorry.
No holidays for you. Today also was the first day, I don't remember how my friend put it, but the first day that Pearl level guests can start booking things.
Okay.
So if you achieve Pearl on the Disney Cruise Line, you get to book something next.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
Not even close. All right, Mike, I've got a question for you. I know before I've asked you your favorite restrooms at the Disneyland Resort, so that's too
Wait,
passé. Oh,
I don't remember. Which one was it?
Mike.
Oh, I think I probably said the Adventure Tower of the Disneyland Hotel.
Oh, the downstairs?
Downstairs, yeah.
Yeah. You know, if you go out, never mind. The Disneyland Hotel was actually built on a tunnel, and when I worked there, that lower level is connecting to that area. So that would always be where we'd run to the restroom when we had to do something. See, my favorite is the Royal Flush bathrooms in Fantasyland.
Royal Flush?
Yeah, the King and Queen of Hearts across from the Matterhorn.
Really?
Just because they're whimsical.
I do not like bathrooms. I mean, you use what you have to use, but that are connected to the outside. An indoor hallway before you get to the bathroom makes all the difference in the world. So hotel restrooms are infinitely better than park restrooms for that reason. But some park restrooms are at least like inside a building, so they're much better. Like if you're at I think, I know some of the restaurants have a restroom. Obviously, Club 33 has a restroom. I go there a lot.
Actually, Club 33's restroom, you have to go outside to go to it. So,
okay. I don't think I've used the restroom at Club 33 since they've remodeled. So, but anyway, my question is, forget the parks, just overall, where's the restroom outside of your own? A restroom you really appreciate using?
I actually have a great answer for this. As a New Yorker, as a Long Islander growing up, we would go into the city. I lived about an hour train ride from New York City, and you had to know where all the public restrooms were. And there was a great one in the Marriott Marquis Hotel in Times Square on the second floor. You take the escalator up, and it's just like nobody knew about it. I think the word spread since the 90s when I was most often using it.
When I go for New York Comic Con, I'm going to have to go use this restroom, apparently.
So I went to New York once, and I stayed very close to Times Square, and I took a bus tour at night. Made the mistake of not going to the bathroom first. Had to go to the bathroom so bad. And I somehow held it till we got back to the drop-off point. Got off the bus, ran right into a Starbucks. No public restroom at the Starbucks. So I'm like, I'm not going to keep trying this at every other place. I just ran to the hotel, which was a couple blocks away, and thankfully there was a restroom in the lobby there I was able to use. But yeah, live and learn. Now I know. Look for the Grand Marquis.
Doobie, that is one of the best things about Florida is every gas station, every place has a public restroom. When I was up in New York for the A Small Light preview, which if you've not seen A Small Light on Disney Plus, go watch it. It is one of the most amazing shows. You'll get interested in, and you'll just have to binge it. I was in Times Square, and I also had to use the restroom. Disney Store does not have one, but if you do happen to go right next door to the Old Navy and purchase something, they do have a very nice restroom.
Make a nice guy. It probably is out there. It's probably like NYCP or something where you can shows you where you are and where the closest public potty is.
Wasn't that a Seinfeld thing?
Was it? They have apps in Seinfeld?
I think it was in the Curb Your Enthusiasm when they had the Seinfeld reunion. George had invented an app to tell you where the nearest restroom was. Yeah.
Handy. The reason I bring up restrooms, of course, is Jeremiah, there's a new restroom at Epcot. How exciting.
I know. Well, it's kind of the old restroom, but updated, hopefully.
I'll ask you both. I'm going to ask you both the same question I asked Kyle this morning.
Why do we have a picture inside a restroom? That's not legal.
It was empty. Not literally. It's not like there were people in the stall. There's not a soul in the restroom. This was actually after the park had officially closed, I believe. But my question for you is: looking at the decor of this restroom, better than Jazz Kitchen? Thought so. Jeremiah, this is the restroom as you leave the land. It's like directly across the entrance to the land.
Correct. Yeah, it's been shut down for a while. It's part of Communicore Central that's coming. There's part of the Communicore building. The restroom is the building on the left. The building on the right is all of that. And then, the wall is down, that walkway is open.
And I just wanted to give credit, once again, as I did this morning, to Blog Mickey for the best tweet on this restroom. World Nature Calls, because it is in World Nature, and Tony, that's like your kind of stuff. You should be doing that. No offense. All right, and then over at Connections Eatery, they have a couple of new menu items I wanted to mention here. Have you tried either one of these yet, Jeremiah?
I have not. I'm not a huge margarita pizza fan, but that does look good. Their pizza's always good, and it's
no alcohol in it. You know that.
No.
Okay.
And is it a vegan burger, an Impossible burger?
It's a plant-based burger. It doesn't say it's impossible, so I don't know if it is or not. It just says plant-based.
I mean, if that's avocado on the top, I would actually give it a try because some of those are good. But you throw avocado on something, and 9 times out of 10, I'll say yes. I ate the guac-sicle last year at Food and Wine at DCA, so I'll try anything that's. What are you trying to do?
Am I messing up the screen here? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's going smaller and big.
Okay, I'm doing a different window trying to get it ready, and I didn't realize it was messing up the main window. Let's go ahead and go to the different one because they have another item, relatively new item there, the Bonkuchen. Have you tried that one yet?
No.
Jeremiah? No? It's a sweet, and it looks pretty yummy. It looks like tree rain. Anyway, Mac tried it along with his sister, so we're gonna watch him. We're gonna watch him eat it. We have audio on, I hope. No, we don't. Let's get it.
Tries a thing. Welcome to Mac Tries a Thing.
That's why. Here we go.
Welcome to Mac Tries a Thing.
Wouldn't there be an S on there? That's a no.
This has been Mac Tries a Thing.
Hold on.
Yes.
Go back to that.
Okay.
Either the beginning or end, and stop it on the title. How long have we had this opening and closing, by the way? I know it's been a while.
I think it's just because there's 2 Macs this time.
Yeah, this one is 2 of them. It's him and his sister, so it's Max Try a Thing. Normally it's Mac Tries a Thing.
Okay, because I'm like...
Mac Tries a Thing.
But he didn't re-record the audio.
Right, the audio is the same.
You lazy bum, whoever did that audio.
That sounds like Tony Betty.
That's so funny. My wife and son also thought it was Tony Betty. It's Kyle.
Yeah, it's Kyle.
It's Kyle.
Really?
Yeah. They were ready to beat me up saying it was Tony. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it's Kyle. I'm like 99% sure it's Kyle.
Tony and
And then we
Kyle's
asked.
voice are very different.
But apparently they sound similar there. I'd feel insulted if I were Kyle. I wouldn't want to sound like technically Tony. Technically Mac trying the thing here.
Wow.
Sorry. And also, let's see, there's a new sipper for Elemental. Hopefully
There's
it
two
does
of them that
better.
are frightening as all get out.
Fire and ice, or what are they called? Flame and Wade, or
Ember and Wade.
Flame and Wade.
Those were the dragon coasters, Fire and Ice.
Ember and Wade or Wave?
Wade, as
Wade,
in wading
okay.
into the water.
Oh, I've got one of those. Do you want me to go and show it to you?
Yeah, please.
All right, I'll be right back.
Who needs concept art? We
Also,
got the real
please,
thing.
everybody, go see this movie. If Benji liked it that much, it's got to be really good. And
Benji.
sadly, it did not go over that well this weekend.
It had the second lowest opening weekend for a Pixar movie ever.
What was one number one?
And it was even worse than that because the worst ever is Toy Story, which was more than 20 years ago in the first. So, yeah, that's a bad opening. Someone doesn't like the word sipper. What's wrong with sipper? It's what babies use.
Well,
All
that's
right.
what it is. It's a sipper.
I know. All right, show us.
So we got this from El Capitan Theater on.
Oh, it's the
Thursday.
same? It's just
It's the
reversible?
same.
Oh,
It's
it's one
reversible.
sipper. Oh,
It,
yeah.
it lights up. I haven't pulled the thing out yet, but how do I
Is
get
this
this?
going to be like
There.
the Eternals thing where we don't know how to do it?
No, I got it immediately this time.
Oh,
Oh, does it keep drinks either hot or cold?
That I don't know. That would be appropriate.
get to put your coffee in one side.
It holds like a jigger worth of stuff. It's like very tiny in there.
Hold on, what is a jigger?
Isn't a jigger like one of those 1 ounce? Oops, sorry. One of those 1 ounce things you put alcohol. You serve alcohol. You don't know what a jigger is?
To me, growing up in the south of California, a jigger is something that gets underneath your skin.
No, you can even look it up on Amazon. It's a real thing. It's 1 ounce pour of alcohol.
Then yes, it probably holds a jigger.
Does it keep the cool side cool? We already did that one, Kyle. You're late. It's like a BLT. Either one of you guys see Elemental?
Yeah, I saw
yet.
it. This is when
Oh,
I got this.
What'd you? Oh, that's right. I should be showing your Instagram. Your Instagram is one of the best.
Oh man, one of my favorite photos of me ever taken
I'm getting it.
at
I'm getting
El
it.
Capitan. It's just a perfect encapsulation of my lifetime experience. I thought Elemental was fine. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it.
Go see Flash or Transformers. You'll have less of an opinion of that.
This is so you said this is one of your best pictures ever. Can you favorite pictures
this
ever?
is
Can you
so
tell me
great.
why?
I'm just standing, I was taking pictures with this is the standee of Elemental in the lobby there, getting ready to take the picture, and the guy just wanders up and puts this food and water bottle on the L of Elemental.
And you look over, and whoever your photographer is, thankfully, actually got the picture, and it is perfect.
That would be my wife, Tori. Yeah, it was good timing. This is going to become all my profile photos everywhere, but yeah, great.
Kyle's saying, has Mike seen Asteroid City yet?
No, unfortunately came down with a illness this past weekend, but as soon as I have the chance, we're gonna head out and see that new Wes
I've heard it's
Anderson film.
really good. Yeah.
I saw a movie this weekend. You guys care?
Yes.
Yeah, what'd you see?
Actually, I saw two. One was Flamin' Hot on Hulu, but the other one I saw was Little Mermaid live action film. Have you heard of it?
Really good.
Excuse me?
Really good.
Are you being serious or
Yeah,
facetious?
I loved it. No, other than one song, I absolutely loved Little Mermaid.
Please tell me the song was Eric's song.
No, Eric's song
'Cause if
is
you
so
say-
much better than that horrible.
Don't you dare say Scuttlebutt.
Just because you love Lin-Manuel
Get out.
Miranda and he
Get
writes a
out.
horrible rap for a
Get out. Scuttlebutt was the highlight of a very mediocre movie. Are you done? The highlight of a very mediocre movie. The song by Eric is just terrible. Oh my goodness, is it terrible?
no, it is flat, but it is not Aquafina trying to rap to a
It was
Lin-Manuel
so good.
Miranda rap
Talking
that
about
doesn't make any sense.
talking about throwing rice, and that's just an urban legend. I was dying. That song is so good. The movie overall is very average. Definitely not bad. Way too dark under the water. That really hurt it, I think. But on land, I actually quite liked it when it was on land.
What was the other one you saw, Doobie?
Flamin' Hot, the movie
Oh,
about the story of.
We've
Flamin'
been
Hot
talking
Cheetos.
about this trend for months now. This trend of like biopics of products. Like there's the one about the sneakers, the Air Jordan sneakers.
Yes,
Yeah.
Air.
There's a
Yeah.
movie about the BlackBerry.
Yeah, I
I
saw
think
both
it's
of
just
those.
called BlackBerry.
I've seen all three of these movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that because, I mean, I would love them more if they were true, but knowing how products come to be, and any rise and fall story, the BlackBerry one is great because
There's
it's like
Tetris.
boom, boom. That one is it? I know there's a movie about the Tetris guy, but I thought it was really about his issues aside from Tetris.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't
No, I
watched
believe
it.
it's about like I know the legal stuff hits in there at some point.
Yeah, I
but
mean, I've
that's
seen
the
half
one I
of
wanna
it.
see.
I've seen half of that one. That one's a documentary, not a narrative.
You know what I
prefer
watched while I
narratives.
was sick? Lawrence of Arabia on Max.
Gee, no wonder you slept for 2 straight
Yeah,
days.
seriously.
It took me like a full 24 hours to watch it, but it's really pretty.
Okay, it's about securing the rights. Okay. Is it narrative or documentary? Because I'm not sure I'm thinking of the same one.
It's
I'd
a
be
narrative.
curious.
The Tetris one is narrative. It's
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I forget who the star is. Like, there's a big name in there.
All right. Okay. Then I need to see this because I'm thinking of a completely different movie, a documentary about one of the guys who created Tetris. That's also out there. Apple TV Plus. Thank you. Thank you. I know what I'm going to watch tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Can
you
you
guys-
send me over your password to Apple TV Plus?
I cannot. No, password sharing is not permitted, Jeremiah.
No, that's only in Netflix.
Oh, okay. In that case, yeah, I can. No problem. Let's see. All right, I don't care about that. I'm gonna ask you this. So, we had someone on our site do a series on Jim Smith did a series on favorite Disney park vehicles, which I'm gonna give you part 2 in the chat if anyone wants to go check it out. But it's just the lead-in for me to ask you too. Some of your favorite Disney theme park vehicles, Jeremiah, because I can see Mike's thinking, and you don't do that.
I really enjoy the honey pot from Tokyo.
Wait. You've been to Tokyo, Jeremiah?
But that one, because it was the first trackless. Because I was about to say the Rise vehicle, but the honey pot is more themed and lots more fun. But, you know, if you want to go the absolute best, only one can fall under that, and that's the Atom Mobile.
I'm sure you were going to say Indy.
That was the
Indy's
one that
pretty
came
cool.
to my mind was the Jeep and
Yeah, but
Indiana Jones.
I think all three of those stand out because they're the first of their kind.
Yeah, Automobile is a great one. The first of the Omni movers.
Yeah.
That is a great one. Indy, spectacular, obviously being in EMH. Even Honeypot, that was Disney's first. Was that the first trackless or just Disney's first trackless?
I want to say it was Disney's first because I know that technology had been out there, but it has been around for a while. I'm sure Kyle, since he can tell us it's on Apple TV, could tell us if it was the first trackless.
I mean, of that type. Even like Universe of Energy, I guess technically was trackless, but
Yeah.
not nearly the same type of thing as the Honeypot. And Ratatouille is the one I've now been able to experience, along with.
Well, Universe of Energy actually followed it was a hair size cable that ran through the entire building.
So not. I mean, there's no track, but it is guided, unlike these,
Yeah,
which are kind of free roaming.
Yeah, these were the GPS free roamers.
Is that how a Great Movie Ride worked too?
Yeah, it was the same hair length or hair width track underneath.
And how does Jungle Cruise work?
There's a skipper, turns their back and can just spin, and it follows the river precisely.
Any others come to mind as a great ride vehicle? I got one that I like. The Calico Mine Train at Knott's Berry Farm. I love that you sit sideways, so you're constantly leaning into the people next to
Except for when
you.
you're going up that hill. That
No
is the worst
seatbelt.
part when you're going up that hill.
I just hold on to the railing in front of me so I don't
Exactly
slide
what I
back.
did.
Sitting sideways, no seatbelt, sliding into the people next to you, big hill, jiggling all over the place, trying to see the stuff behind you. I love
Does
that.
the Star Speeder count?
I mean, of course, it's a ride in a vehicle. One of the more impressive ones in the world. Yeah.
That was, again, a first of its kind.
Another. Oh, how could I forget this one? I mean, Disney just copied it, but it's fantastic. The Skyliner is my favorite ride vehicle.
You have one right behind you. Kind of.
Too. I do. All right. Anything else?
You know, it's a cool ride vehicle that comes to mind. That it's not even a ride that I love that much, but the Web Slingers vehicle. I could just watch that thing zip around all day. I don't even love that ride that much, but I like the way it moves.
I the ride.
Why don't you love that ride? I love that ride.
It's fine. It just gave me tennis elbow.
Oh, yeah.
I despise that ride. But it does remind me of a good one, a ride vehicle I do like, even though I'm not a huge fan of the ride. Spider-Man over at Universal Highlands of Adventure.
Yeah.
The Scoop.
The Scoop.
That's a good ride vehicle.
Again, first of its kind.
That seems to be our theme here. First of its kind. Kyle Burbank says Cartoon Spin. First of its kind.
Do you know how they came up with the cartoon spin, Doobie? Do you remember the story from back in the day?
I do, but I'm going to let you tell it.
When they were coming up with the concept of the Roger Rabbit cartoon spin, because they wanted guests to experience 360 things, they took a teacup and put it on, I want to say it was Mr. Toad in Disneyland, and took it throughout the entire thing. And that's how they came up with the idea of the spinner vehicle.
Brilliant, and that's exactly what you're doing. Mike, let me verify this before I'm just going to ask it this way. Are you able, if you have seen it, to talk about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny?
Yes, and I can also talk about having gone to the premiere.
Okay, I am curious. I just want to make sure. I'm not sure what we can talk about.
Yeah,
I'm curious about the premiere.
As little as possible, Mike.
I am curious about the premiere experience, and I am curious about the film, if you're allowed to give your opinion already.
The premiere was amazing. It was 5 out of 5 stars for me. Just a great experience from beginning to end. I went with my best friend, who's a huge indie fan.
First thought was, oh, he went with Tori. Then I realized, no, you're not talking about Tori.
Tori, no. She is my best friend who I'm married to. This is my male best friend who was my best man at my wedding and everything.
Oh,
but
nice.
we got to see John Williams conduct the orchestra. He opened up the show and they played 3 tracks from the indie movies, and just getting to see the whole cast and the creators there and get to celebrate the franchise as a whole. And then I would say the new movie, really liked parts of it, was less interested in other parts of it.
Is it the most okay indie film, as the reviews have said?
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it. I definitely think it's better than the 55% that's on Rotten Tomatoes right now. Having just rewatched Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, I still have trouble getting behind that movie. This one I think is immediately better than that. But yeah, I would say the biggest problem I had with it is it doesn't have it's not as tight as the other movies. Like rewatching the original Indiana Jones trilogy, those movies just move like you blink and they're over. Like they're that exciting that the action never stops. This one kind of drags in the middle, I would say. That is my biggest issue with it, but I won't spoil anything else.
Is that a matter of they just want to make every movie long, like they did for Little Mermaid, which for some inexplicable reason is 2.25 hours long, or just bad filmmaking, you think?
I don't understand the reasoning behind making movies longer than they need to be, but it might just be that. Yeah, it's like I think this is close to 2.5 hours, which is half an hour longer than all the other ones, which doesn't make sense to me.
You don't understand making movies long and you just watched Lawrence of Arabia that has
Well,
like
okay, but that's a
40
movie
minutes of sand.
that's true. That's a movie that is designed as an epic. That's not, an action movie. I just think that, if you're trying to mimic that's a different thing I was talking about.
On the wrong way, sorry.
Yeah, here's the costume displays from there's the actual Dial of Destiny.
All right.
Spoiler there in that picture, but that's in the trailer. So yeah, I feel like why not mimic the pacing and the length also. I feel like that's the one thing those movies have inarguably gotten right, is the breakneck pacing where you're just like never not entertained. Yeah.
I don't understand the need to make every single movie be an epic length. It's okay to have a tight movie and in and out, and every movie, even the best movies these days feel like they're just overlong or longer than they need to be. And I don't
Go see
understand that.
The Flash. Mike, I
is
do
it?
have a question about the movie. Is there a post or mid-credit scene?
Not that they showed at the premiere.
Okay.
This
Sure.
is so my buddy, not the friend that I took with me to the premiere, but a different friend from college, always had this joke about the Harrison Ford one finger. If you go back and watch all of his old movies, he always points at people like this. So I got a photo of him doing that like right up close, and I was really happy about it.
So wow, you got this close to Harrison. You've talked to him before, though, right?
I've never talked to Harrison Ford. No.
You haven't? So I have a quick story. Back in the day when I used to do Rocky Horror at the New Art in Santa Monica, there was my girlfriend at the time.
You were one of those people, Jeremiah?
Her family, I did tech for it, Doobie. I wasn't like you and dressed up as Frankenfurter.
I totally thought you were one of the guys that went there every Friday night or whatever and did the thing.
Saturday, I was for many, many years.
Okay, then stop trying to deflect.
Her family was friends of Harrison Ford's, I believe her daughter, so would watch his grandson. One night, I don't know what movie it was, but we were waiting for the movie to exit so we could go in and start setting up for Rocky. Harrison, and this is when he was dating, what's her name, the person that was like less than half his age, many, many years ago. I can't think of her name. They were in the theater coming out, and they were just standing in the lobby, and I actually walked up to him and just said, hi, shook his hand, and we just started talking about his grandsons being watched by my friend. He was the nicest guy, but he does talk like this in person.
He's a low talker.
That's really cool. Where did you do Rocky?
New Art in Santa Monica. One of the longest running Rocky horrors in the United States.
What were the cross streets on that? Do you remember?
It's right off the 405 as Santa Monica to the left.
What years did you do that?
That was 99 to...
well after my time. Okay.
Oh, wait.
I never did Rocky, but I used to see the theater all the time when I was in college, going to UCLA, and so I passed there on Saturday night, so I'm like, maybe I saw Jeremiah out there.
It is still running. They still do it every Saturday. It is a very fun event. If you've never done Rocky Horror, it's a great place to go and not pay attention to the movie because you won't understand it. So watch it on TV and then go and start yelling at the screen.
Done Rocky Horror, Mike?
I actually haven't, which is weird because the run that Jeremiah was a part of, my buddy Jared Yeager was also involved with, and his wife Annalisa.
I met Jared, and I knew when Jared and Annalisa met. They were good friends.
They were, small world with that kind of thing. But I haven't actually done the experience, which is weird. I've done The Room, where they do a similar thing, and kind of interact with the film as it plays out.
The nerdiest people in the world working for LP.
Yes, we are.
We're happy and we're proud of it. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. with whatever is going on in the world of Disney for the morning show. Oh, wait, we have a question. What's Germ's favorite Rocky song, and why is it Rose Tint My World?
Not sure what.
Bye, everybody.
Wow.